In childhood, I had been what you called a tomboy. I like to play with the boys more than the girls. I like to do what the guys did, be physically active. Doesn't matter playing cricket, soccer, we call it football. Climbing trees, swimming in the sea, in the river, picking fruit, just doing things physically, killing birds, making slingshots, and killing birds, and running with the boys. Always with the boys. I hung around the boys. But I never thought I was a boy, nor did I ever want to be a boy. What I was doing actually was beating the boys. I didn't realize at my young age how competitive I'd been. I was so competitive. Whatever the guys were doing, I had to beat them. So I tell the story of one of the many things I did to beat the boys. When I was in the river that day, washing my clothes on the rocks, stonewashed, and I heard the boys up on the bridge. They were planning to have a pissing contest. They were going to piss off the bridge and see whose piss went the highest. I was like, whoa, I bet I can beat these guys. We were kids. Like 12, 13. We were young kids. And I was like, okay, I put my clothes aside. I ran up to them. And I got in position on the bridge. They were laughing at me. Because a girl wants to compete against us in a pissing contest. So yeah, there I was, right? On your mark, get set, go! Everyone starts urinating. And I position that clitoris. Suddenly, the guys, they're pissing. It's impressive. It's an arc, right? Arch? Sorry, English not my mama lang. English not my mother tongue, okay? Sometimes I fumble your words. Thank God for that. These guys are pissing off the bridge. And I'm there competing with them. And I'm there to beat them because anything I do with the boys, I gotta do it better than them. That was me as a little girl. I'm no longer this way, okay? But as a child, I had to beat the boys. And I see the guys, they're piss. Go up high and then dip down and fall into the river below. And then I let mine rip. All I know is suddenly my piss stream surpasses theirs, goes beyond. Woo! Please. I won the pissing contest. All right? And that was that. Of course, the guys were not happy. But anyway, back to the story of this fake transgender of mine. Fake transgender. I say this because when we were supposedly friends, and then he elected to be my driver. He said, you always have these shows, you're performing, you have to take your costume, your material, sometimes you take a taxi, something, depending on the route. We lived right in the city, and there's a streetcar going right past the venue. I didn't have to drive. I didn't have to get a driver. But he insists he wants to be my driver. And the reason was because he had no friends. And I had a lot of friends, to me, mostly acquaintances. But he saw them as my friends. And he wanted to be exposed. He wanted to be around them. He wanted to be, because my life was exciting. It really was. And so I never excluded him. I included him. You want to be here? Sure, why not, And so my friends were getting to know him. He was getting to know my friends. He's eavesdropping when they speak. So he's learning more and more about the queer community and the trans community. And he starts to position himself as a transgender, male to female. And that's fine. I accept him. But I say, it's very clear to me, you are a trans woman. One thing I noticed about him is that, he always did it to the extreme. The makeup, you could see so much makeup. As a woman, I don't wear much makeup. As a woman, I only wore high heels for that hour in the dungeon with a client because they're paying me. If I'm not being paid to wear high heels, I ain't wearing no damn high heels because that shit hurts. And women get fallen arches. All of these strippers and shit, women dancing, they're not telling you. They're wicked. They're not warning you young girls that when you wear these high heels and you're dancing and running and jumping and usually you're intoxicated, so you're doing even more. Down the road, you are going to injure your body. You will have what is called fallen arches. Fallen arches. That will happen to you. And it will be very difficult for you to wear high heels again in the future. You will have to start wearing flat. But some of you have to wear high heels because if you don't wear high heels, you try to go flat, that hurts too. So one girl I used to know, she was a prostitute. She did in-calls. I saw her wearing high heels. She gets out of bed and puts in her high heels. I said, why are you doing that? She said, because I can't walk without high heels. I've worn high heels for so long that it hurts. She had fallen arches. But now I suspect I have fallen arches. The reason I say that is I try to walk in my old boots. That I couldn't do it. So I don't know. But the point is you do affect your body in very bad ways. This person was around me, always around me. And I didn't see the negativity in that. I didn't realize until much later. When a friend pointed it out, he again avails himself. He volunteers to drive me, to be my driver. But he's resentful when my friends are around, that's another red flag. Because if you're my driver and I'm going to go someplace, my friend is there, they got to get into your auto as well. Why are you having an attitude? Oh, she's fat. She's fat. I hate fat women. Some of these white men got some problems. I bet you today he's fat, but whatever. He didn't like her because she was fat. She had dreadlocks. She's white, from Russian gypsy. They call me Roma. She called herself Roma, not gypsy. Don't ever call them gypsies. So he had such a problem with her, and she was the funny part is she was a Cancer and so is he. She didn't give a shit about him, neither here nor there. But and the only reason he was mad is because she's my friend. Then another friend was over. This time was a black woman, Leo, and we were seated in the car, and I said something, and he said something in response, and she looked at him, and she saw his face. It's as though, and she alerted me to the fact that what he'd been doing he gaslights. He was gaslighting me the whole time. But it was puzzling because, dude, you're walking on very thin ice because it's me. I don't put up with shit. And I don't expect you to be doing that to me. So that's why it keeps happening, because why would you do that to me? Why the hell would you do that to me? You're an asshole. You're an asshole man, white man who dreams of being a woman. You're so resentful of me that you can't even help yourself. And he always in the presence of my friends tried to take jabs at me. I started to notice that. And she pointed it out. She said, did you see the look on his face? Yes, well, as it happened, I had just noticed. He had said something that he knew would piss me off. And I was pissed off. And seeing that I'm pissed off, they say narcissists do that. I never fingered him as a narcissist. I didn't even know of the term narcissistic personality disorder. So there's that. But when he pissed me off, he was taking such delight. He was laughing. He was like a big grin on his face. Can you imagine being around someone who actually hates you? They hate you. They act like, they think so highly of you. They want to be your servant. Don't take these people into account. Something is wrong with their head. They're screwed in the head. They need psychiatry, not even just therapy. So it was solidified. Once she pointed it out, because it's like I need proof. And I had proof over the years, but I just didn't want to believe it. It's kind of like my family just being nasty to me and being mean and nasty. And me not accepting that because they're my family. Why would they be nasty to me? Well, they're people, and people are assholes, no matter where they come from. It could be from your own family. And they could also be people who are your housemates, trying to get close to you into your life. And he was resenting me because basically I wasn't accepting him romantically. Because, ew, why would I do that? To me, that's a slave. And hey, I never treat slaves like the white people treat slaves or like the Arabs treat slaves. Okay? Slaves have to beg me to punish them. Because I'm not into this shit. If you want me to dominate you, you got to pay $200 an hour. So he expected domination, but he's not paying anymore. He thinks he's living. I made the bitch pay the bills because no man is going to live with me and I'm paying half. I don't give a shit. Even when we were not having sex, we never had sex. And I think that really pissed him off because I said, one day he came and he showed me this bill. I don't know, it was electric bill or some bill. I said, what the F you showing this to me for? What is your problem? Did I not teach you to be a domina? Take the skills I taught you, place an ad, go to work, make some money and pay these bills and get the F out of my face. He never bugged me again about another bill because I had started paying bills, him paying bills, we were both paying bills. But there came a time when I was no longer employed as I had been. And I was not doing domination as much, but he was because I taught him to. Now you be the domina. You love it so much. You love getting dressed up in your tight outfits. We never like no damn tight clothes. It's so uncomfortable. But these wannabes, they will be uncomfortable just so they can be looking a bit like me. But they can't because of how my body was formed. 36, 26, 36. 36D, in fact. You didn't have that. You have to put, you got to make titties. You got to make an ass. You got to make this. The only thing he had a penis, he was well endowed. But I didn't want that either. I didn't want his dick because he wasn't clean. He wasn't clean. I'd rather have no dick than an unclean dick. And I was not attracted to him. He may hate hearing that, but I got to be attracted to you. Like a lot of prostitutes are out there accepting money, having sex with men for money. The money makes them feel hot. And you look hot to them because you got that money. I'm not her. I don't do that shit. Either I'm attracted to you or I'm not, and money is not part of the equation. So he'd been gaslighting me and enjoying every minute of it, and once I started to see the monster that he was, it took me many years before I could finally call him her, or say she, because he lived with me as a man, as a smelly man, in fact, as a smelly man to the point where he walks past me on the steps and I had to say, you need to bathe. You need to bathe. That's how I learned, like, white people can be really nasty. Now, that's why they have wipes. They got wipes because they refuse to wash that ass. They refuse to wash their pussy, their penis, their armpits. They just live in this filth. Dirty, nasty bodies. And they wash their fucking crotch. He said to, once I heard him use the word crotch, I was so turned off. Ugh. It's as though he wanted me to be pissed off. He'd say things to piss me off because then I would blow up and then he got a rise out of it. I don't know if he was sexually stimulated, but he loved it when I was yelling at him, telling him off. So he was getting free domination anyway, right? But my domination is not about yelling at men and calling them names, and except if they specifically ask for that. My domination is very different from the average domina. So many of these transgender, many of these men who want to be women, they hate us. They hate us, real born female, gendered people, entities. They hate us. They pretend they like us. They don't. They come near us to learn. They watch us. They copy us. And then they go and they believe they're being a better version than us. That's how you know how much they hate us, how much they resent us. Can you imagine a world that's filled with these MFers? A whole bunch of men pretending to be women? You're gonna birth babies out of your ass? I know you got artificial wombs now, but hey, how's that working? How's that gonna work? You're gonna be birthing a bunch of demons. Because that's what you all are. You're a bunch of demons. You show it to me all the time. And I'm not, when I speak this way, I'm so pissed. But I happen to know transgender people who are perfectly fine. They're okay people. We can't say nothing more. We can't say they're loving and kind because they're not showing me love and kindness. but they're not disturbing my peace. They're not attacking me. They're not bothering me. But this guy I lived with for this long was doing all kinds of shit. And we'd be out in public and people always asked, are you married? And I'd say, why do you ask that? No. We're not married. Are you kidding me? Like, maybe it's the way I answered. Because it's like in my mind, it's like, how the hell could I be married to this guy? Look at him. Look at me. And it's nothing about my conceit. It's about his standards and mine. He would do things I would never do. Like his plate after he eats on the floor. And he stays there till the next time when he wants a meal and he goes on the floor and picks it up and puts the food in it and eats off that. No. I was raised differently. Okay? I was raised differently. So there was the negativity. And he kept every single day he would talk about how he hates Canada. He hates Canada. He can't wait to get... I'm from the U.S. I'm an American citizen. I'm American. He kept saying that. I got sick of hearing him say that. Listen, bitch, you're in Canada. And Canada is treating you very well. You are gainfully employed. You get work. You get good jobs, paying good money. And you half the time you don't even show up. And then you show up and you try to do as much as possible to make it seem like you've been doing the work all the time. The boss knows you've been screwing around. Many of these white people who talk about black people being lazy, they're the lazy ones and they project. Okay. Anyway, I liked living with him because apart from him just being a bit of an energy vampire, he would not touch my things, you see. I would have my food in the fridge or in the kitchen or he would never touch anything of mine. I could have money around. He would never touch my money. I value that. He had his own. I didn't touch his stuff. Because I know he's a crab. They hold on to their things. They will be generous. They will share with you. But they don't really like you touching their stuff. And I appreciate that. So I didn't touch his stuff. But he kept on giving me stuff. Because he kept buying things in my size. It's like he was shopping for me. And expecting it to fit him. And when it didn't fit him, I got it. So I got a lot of outfits. A lot. So as a domina, I didn't have to really buy anything. At first I started to buy some things. But when I met him, I had to stop. So I saved a hell of a lot of money. I got so many pairs of boots. And then in addition to which, I could also wear his if I wanted to. But I never really cared to because one thing about me, I like my own. I will wear the same I will wear the same thing over and over and over. Why? Because it's comfortable. The new things are never comfortable. The new things, you got to work them in. Ooh, ouch, it hurts. Like, why the hell do I want something that hurts? Wearing the attire of a domina is not comfortable. That's why I learned that I like PVC. Then I learned it's toxic. So I couldn't wear PVC as much as I'd like. But PVC will be kind of stretchable, but it's not breathable. You see? But there's latex. Latex is sexy and hot, but it's a bitch to get in and out of. She loved wearing latex. Even if it's like a chore to get in and out of. She'd wear that stuff. The leather, the anything tight. And I hated that. But I did it for the hour, for the client, because I'm being paid. So all these guys coming after me thinking I'm going to be dressed that way. Listen, bitch. Boy. I'm into gardening. I'm into cooking. I'm a homebody. I love being around the house, puttering. I'm an artist, so I love to write. I love to record. I love to do creative things. I'll even doodle. I'm even doodling, painting. And I love to be around people who are similar. But it's kind of creepy to be around someone who wants to be you. And sadly, many white people want to be black people. That's why they appear to hate us. They resent us. They're jealous of us. Envy. It's sickening. It's a disease. It's an illness that is mental in them. That's why there's such a thing as white pseudo-supremacy. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, comment or not. It's all good. I'm Domina de la Pie, Mistress Sasha Storm. Good day.